superior to another race. Like when we start thinking like, oh, we got special powers because we black.
No, that's not the problem, no, Kent.
I mean, like, in the conscious community, it damn sure is.
I know what Chef talking about.
The problem is white people then freaked us out so bad. You feel me? And they done messed it up so bad with their racism that now they're saying there's no such thing to try to give us equality when you should have had it regardless. You feel me? Ain't nobody saying that we're not equal. They the ones who tried to say there wasn't equality among the races. So it made you think that it was inferior and superior amongst the different races or breeds. We're all just human beings. We all just, you know what I mean, one species of human beings, but we're made up of different races. Like, that's just the obvious. But now it's so messed up because they use the word race interchangeably with their bullshit so bad that now we gotta deny that the shit even exists, or we feel like we putting ourselves back in the trick bag that they put us in. You feel me? It's like, no, I can't even acknowledge what the fuck I am. Like,
no, you don't feel me.
Like, that's crazy.
That's not.
They ain't even black, no, nah. That don't exist. How?
You got some points there. You got some points. You got some points through the lenses of ignorance. Meaning you do not know. You're not understanding that. Because what you're saying, it sounds good.
Right.
It sounds so good that they enslaved us based off of that. Where you at, Van? I can't let you disappear, Van. Nope.
I fell asleep.
No. I'm looking at.
I just fucking with you, man.
I'm looking at this book for because I got a book on what Chevron talking about, and I'm just looking to see if I can find something to give them.
Shout out to the Late Show 42, Jeremiah Judah 7000. He says, Uncle West, I'm tired of you running. Yeah, man, I feel you, bro.
Yo, how the hell Jeremiah Judah? That nigga pop up everywhere. He be adding people. I don't even know him. He add me on Facebook. No disrespect. He's kind of cool, but it's just like, damn, he the anti.
He got a debate show.
He anti what we talk about, but he always there. He a loyal supporter.
He love it. He love it. My man Jeremiah Judah.
Shout out to Jeremiah Judah.
Jeremiah Judah, y'all
might as well come on to this side. He might as well. I don't understand.
Man, we need people like him to keep us moving, yo.
Jeremiah, funny. I be beating Jeremiah up. It's crazy shit.
Oh, I know. I done heard him on Garfield plenty of times. Bananas.
Yeah, he bananas. He's a funny guy. What's up, shorty? Robert Rand, Jagar Davis, Metro, Customer. Where the hell is somebody text message?
I heard him on Garfield plenty of times. Bananas.
Bananas. Hold on, I ain't getting nobody off the hook. I'm dragging people on. So go ahead, please go ahead, Chef. Finish understanding why you think racism.
Are you saying that it's not a social construct, Chef? A construct?
I mean, it's social too. You feel me? But nigga, look the way he look. It's because of his race.
No.
I mean, we gave definition. We put that definition on that though. I mean, as far as race go,
can't go get him. Go get him.
They used it, you know what I mean, to enslave us, like to make their people not be. It's like, so it's people over there on the white side that really don't like the inhumane shit. So in order to convince them that, you know, oh, these people, they ain't human, they had to put the race card on it. Like, yo, these people black, they ain't us. Whole time we both humans, you know what I'm saying? So it got mixed up in that, you know what I mean? But basically all I was saying, it's a social construct. It's like, it's really no reason I should hate this man for being white or hate that person.
You talking about racism.
Well, I mean, you know, when they define us,
you saying it you don't like it, or it's not real because they used it wrong, like they used it negatively towards us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why but does that mean that people like Darwin and them who used the word race, they was wrong?
I feel like with Darwin, man, he basically kind of like fucked them up behind it, because when he say, boom, everybody come from Africa, that kind of goes into showing that everybody's human. You know what I'm saying? Like with evolution and all that, it shows that, okay, you got your species and then you got, you know, their origins and all of that. And if humans originated in Africa and everybody was this at one time, and they branched out and went over here and went over there and they changed, you know what I'm saying, phenotype, you know, skin color change and all that, it's like we're still the same thing. So
all right, so can I use the word races the way Darwin used it? Would that be a correct way to use it?
No. I don't think Darwin, well, you talking about as far as like black and white?
No, when he talked about the races of human beings, the different races of human beings, was he wrong, or can I use it in the context that Darwin used it?
I mean, I don't think he was wrong the way he used it. I had to see what you're talking about on that.
When he talked about the different races of Europe, the different races of Africa, he made distinctions. Mm-hmm. And he used the word races, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning he put people into different categories and he used the word races. You know what I mean? So y'all saying that even Darwin was wrong. Not the races, not the people who used it negatively to put you in chains and to discriminate on you and to say you was inferior. I'm saying that there were people who used the word race and the best, you know what I mean, to show the distinctions between human beings, the physical, the social, the linguistic, you know what I mean, mm-hmm. the regional, you know what I mean. All of those differences were classified as the different races of human beings. So y'all saying that that's wrong too, that Darwin was even wrong when he used races.
I ain't saying all that. I'm saying I'm saying that everybody's human, and like we have differences. That's obvious.
There's no different species than Homo sapiens sapien. That's all I'm saying.
Fact.
Whatever you saying, I'm not even getting in the weeds with you. There's no difference.
In the weeds.
There's no difference in Homo sapiens sapien, period. Now, when you bring up the term race and how it's been used historically, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It was weaponized. You were locked in chains because of how you look, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the rest of this shit, we in the weeds. That's it. Like that's it.
Darwin used the finches, right?
The only species, and that's it. There is no different species than Homo sapiens sapien. I don't know what Darwin said. I don't know. I just
I had to see what you're talking about on that, Chef. I'm gonna have to read that part.
So let me ask y'all this.
All right, hold on. Let's get this joint started, man. We got.
We went live on it.
Yeah, we've been live.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we've been live for a minute.
Go to sleep on it, so we definitely got
to go live as soon as we hit that motherfucker.
I'm reading this book, and it says it's 5 different definitions of race, and only one of them is a biological term. Like, what? I don't know if y'all got this book on PDF. The argument is Severin making is right there for you. You got it. You got it right there for you.
So, Black African power. What's good? What's happening? Well-organized life. Defeat the disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killer in the house. We come to do what we got to do, and we're going to do what we got to do. We standing tall. We standing strong. Pseudo Killers on deck. Hey, what's going on, Space Age Banks? How you doing, man? What it do? What it do, bro?
Oh, man, what's going on? Peace to the panel. Peace to the viewers. Real Black Atheist Podcast. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe on iTunes right now. I'm here.
Yeah, appreciate you coming through, Banks. We're gonna talk a little bit about that probe they landed on that asteroid, man. We'll talk about that, man. What's going on, Clark Kent? What up with you?
Man, ain't nothing, man. Right here, chilling, man, in the universe out here in space. You know what I mean? Hanging out on Earth. You know what I mean? trying my little joint real quick, man, to see how this don't look or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm just chilling. What's happening with y'all? Peace to everybody on the panel and in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I told you. What's good with you, Chef? What it do? What it do? You in there starting trouble?
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm chilling. I just talking to y'all let me know how ignorant I am.
You're good. It's good. It's good conversation though.
You know what I mean? It lets me know how, but I like that because you gotta test yourself. You feel me? It ain't that I haven't read with y'all, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I got a good understanding of what y'all saying. It just don't fit right with me. You feel me?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
It don't fit right with me. Like, yo, I like being black, yo. Like, you can't take that away from me.
I'm with you, shit.
Yeah, and ain't nothing wrong with being proud to be black.
You know what I mean? White people like being white, yo. You get Asian people love being Asian, yo. Like, then to tell them, yo, you ain't like we all the same. They like, yo, I can show you 20 different ways where I'm different from that other nigga. You feel me?
Right. I like to use
what you mean now don't exist. You feel me?
I feel like that's tribalism though.
Yeah, definitely.
Evolution could take us 10,000 years to anywhere. We could be totally different pigmentation 10, 20,000 years from now. We started off how we look now. So, I mean, it's really just, it's not something that we get to choose. We just wake up to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you though. I love being black. Like, why wouldn't we? Especially when it's been used, how it's been used, or how it's been weaponized against us. And now our ancestors died for us to be able to be proud and do what we do. So yeah, I'm with you. But at the end of the day, we can't let white racism, white supremacy live and die in us too on that level as well. Because I feel like that's where it all started from originally. That's why we feel the way we feel. Anyway, it's a part of our culture. Good, bad, and ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a byproduct that we proud to be black, but why are we looking at each other as black anyway? Like who told us we was black?
We did.
No, I'm with you.
But think about this too. Like, why is it important? Like, why is it important?
Why is it important? No, I agree.
You know
what I mean, hold on. What? See, that's the problem with how racism messes everything up. Because now we're saying that it's not even important, or that takes away from your own pride when you say, yo, it don't even matter. Yo, it matter. You feel me? Like,
I mean, it matter now because of the way the world is. And, of course we get, racially profiled by police and there's racism, of course it matters. Now I'm just saying if we never even did that, like we would obviously see the differences, but we wouldn't treat each other different because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's tribalism.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But even in our own race, we treat each other different. Like if I don't know them niggas on the west side,
right? That's what we saying.
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Look, a nigga on the east side shouldn't deny he an east side nigga because niggas on the west discriminating against him. Yeah, I'ma still acknowledge you ain't gonna take that away from me. You feel me? You just gonna have to accept me as an equal. And look, Vance, I totally agree. It's only one species. There's no inferiority or superiority, you know what I mean, in the different breeds of human beings. Mm-hmm. I think Darwin and them was using it as, talking about breeds. You feel me? Right. Phenotypes, cultural differences. You feel me? That's the way I'm using it. Right. I totally agree that, is the racism that they used was wrong, to put negative connotations on the different groups of human beings based on skin color, and that's wrong. You feel me? I totally agree. Right. But how we ain't black no more? I don't get it.
Can you tell what race somebody is with their DNA? Like if you was to, check their DNA, would you be able to tell, like, yo, this is a black?
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yo, I don't think you can.
Labeled it.
I'm about to look that up. I don't think you can though.
No, I think we can at this point.
So hold on. So when you do your DNA joint,
we are on trial.
They don't see your picture. They don't see nothing. They can put you with a group of people.
Yeah, you
They
right on
can,
that.
they can put you with a group of people. So you're telling me you can't see that on a DNA level when you can do a DNA test? They don't see you, and they'll put you with that group of people that you come, but you can't. Come on, yo, that don't even make sense.
Right. No, I'm with you, Seth.
That don't make sense.
He just sucked y'all up. I was
Yeah, he did.
My ignorance.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and jump down the rabbit hole.
in the weeds, in the thickets.
Right, in the weeds. We're in the weeds right now.
He got y'all in the thickets. Okay. So let me hold on. I'm trying to, because I can end the conversation.
Find that book. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, the thing is, so this is what they say, right? They say,
Hold on, what you about to do? You about to stop me from being black? You about to have an argument that's gonna kill me being black?
No.
I gotta hear this one.
Heck no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna be a little more slicker. So watch how slick this is. This is easy to say. So they say race is a social construct. So when you're talking about I'm black, I'm this, you're talking about it from a societal perspective. You're talking about it socially in conversation. So socially, there is a race. You get it socially. Oh, that's a white man. That's a China man. That is a social constructed by societies. Europeans practicing pseudoscience said there was 3 races: Mongoloid, right, Caucasoid, and Negro. Mm-hmm. And they had 7 and 8, 9 and 10 different races. They had all that if you read some of the works, okay? But it was created socially, but it wasn't through the lenses of biology. We are biological organisms. And when you break it down to the biological aspect of things, when you get to that level, there is no race. It's just skin color, hair textures. You feel me? Different sizes, phenotypes. That's what it is, biologically speaking, DNA. DNA does not tell you what your race is. Your DNA tells you what geographical region you came from. That's why you can take a DNA test and say, okay, these particular markers first mutated on, watch this, the continent of Africa. See, you have DNA markers that are exclusive to Mesoamerica or exclusive to the Americas. That's why we beat up socially black people. We beat them up biologically when they say we're from the Americas and we have always been there. Nah, you have not. You have not always been there because 1, evolution is a fact and a theory, okay? 2, the marker that's in Native American marker, it mutated on the continent of America. Meaning that's why you'll hear Native Americans say we always was here. They don't understand evolution back then. All they know is they was here in Americas. That's all they know. But the reality is, right, that they mutated once they got to America. Remember, they on the Bering Strait. And they on the Bering Strait for about 10,000 years, yo. Okay? And then when they crossed over and that ice age ended and that water covered it up, then now they stuck. See, we tend to think, and I'm kind of shifting gears, we tend to think that these populations of hunter-gatherers and herders that followed the woolly mammoth into the Americas, we tend to think they had a global perspective. The global perspective is relatively new. I'm gonna say this again. The global perspective is relatively new. It came with the intercontinental ships. Obviously, the Egyptians didn't have a global perspective because they didn't travel the globe. You would have to travel the globe to have a global perspective, right? They knew lands, this area, they drew maps, but they did not know about America. They didn't. Christopher Columbus and them went to America and seen people, right, and claimed they discovered it. Well, to them, they discovered it. To the Native Americans, they looking at them like, the hell you talking about? We've been here. Okay, so from a quote unquote social construct, everything you said is right, Sheffrin. But by the time you get to science, we've recognize it is just a social construct. It is not a biological construct. So biologically speaking, they do not have race-specific medicine. Right? We was on the Chill show. We had a doctor on there, and she was like, well, we really, the reason Black people need to get into the vaccine trials because of their variations in their genes. We need to see how certain genes are affected by the vaccine. You see what I'm saying? So it's not hard once you slow it down. So the reality is we were enslaved based off of a social construct, and that shit hurt. And it hurts to this very day when people mistreat us. When the police pull your ass over, whoop, 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 and pull you over, it's based off a social construct. It's called racial profiling. So they do continue to use these words. So at no point do I suspect that society ever catches up with science. Science is always out there. So they didn't get the goddamn memo, and we still use it to the point where even when you break out your application for a job, even when you look at the census, why is it there? How am I going to teach my kids this, but on the application shit, it says, I saw you. So I get what you're saying, but once again, it's socially speaking. You feel me? And you know you can always get into trouble looking at the person claiming, I'm a Native American, I'm Egyptian. Nope. And a good article to read is the National Geographic magazine with the two twins on it. You familiar with that, Chef Vance? That what I'm talking about?
The one black and one white?
Yeah, man. And that whole joint, that whole magazine will change your perspective, yo. So I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna send you a copy of that for you to read that.
It was they was twins, but they had two different races.
Nah, it's just the way they came out biologically.
Yeah, one was black, one was white.
Hey, look, and you gotta be specific when you say black, because are you talking skin color? Because there's other people in other parts of the world that got the same skin color, but you know they different.
You see, so that's why we get tricked up. They call it trick'emship. That's why you come to Mesoamerica and people have skin just as brown as mine. Right?
Skin map.
Right? Christopher Columbus made that mistake. He seen Indians that were brown, dark brown, and he was like, yo, look at these people. Well, remember, they in zone 2, and so their complexion changes seasonally. Darkens up in the summertime, lightens up in the winter months. That's in zone 2. Okay? Zone 1 is on the equator. These people stay dark all year round. Right? Zone 3 is on the is in the northern latitudes where there's not as much sun, so you don't need dark pigment. And we always give the example of the spotted moth. Look up spotted moth in evolution. Simple as that. So those who had lighter skin and blue eyes, for the women, they had more sex more often than those without the blue eyes, and those with lighter skin gave birth to valuable offspring. We know what a valuable offspring is in science. A valuable offspring is that your genes were the most fit out of a lot of people in your population, and those genes were passed on based off of sexual selection, based off of natural selection. There you go. So, Mr. Vance, real quick, bro. I'll catch you before you fade out. I made him lost him. Vance.
Yo.
Yeah, you died.
I'm here.
Yes, he died. Okay, so Vance, real quick, yo. So what's that new thing that went down this week?
Oh, Concrete Corey's supposed to be in here to piggyback off what I'm supposed to say. I don't know where he at. But,
I know.
we were talking about the Great Bombardment in the chat or something like that last week, and it dawned upon me that right now in real time, we have a mission, OSIRIS-REx, that landed on an asteroid orbiting the sun, and the scientific mission was to discover, get more clarity on the origins of life and what kind of materials was there, because these things are preserved, and they haven't been seen for billions of years, and all the materials are there, and things that we could harvest and bring back to Earth. And there's a new frontier to be had, and Trump has even alluded to it somewhat. But there was a video that came out showing the craft or the orbiter that we have landing on it and retrieving materials, doing this little touchdowns, and eventually going to bring back materials to Earth, and we're going to research them and see what actually is on this asteroid. And the Japanese space, what is this? JAXA is actually doing the same thing on a different asteroid. Hayabusa is called Hayabusa 2. Second time they've done this. So it's actually been done. It's practical things being done in real time that is crazy. It's we're in the space age, like you keep saying, and to have these arguments and to act like these things aren't really happening. It's just kind of crazy because we're doing things in real time. Like while we're arguing about how much they know about H2O, they're landing craft on asteroids and bringing materials back, like in real time. So it just was interesting. I thought it piggybacked on what Corey was saying in the chat that day. That's all. And yeah, you told me to bring it out on the show, so that's it, though.
Yeah,
y'all should definitely look into it.
Yeah, and so our community need to focus on all those things. We need to be able to chew gum, all that at the same time. Chew gum and walk at the same time. So
yeah, definitely,
that's valuable points right there, man. I just wanted to get all that out there. So yeah, so back to you, Chef. So do you understand why they call that? Oh, I see you in the building. What's going on, Sosa? How you doing, brother?
Everything good. I seen the link and then I saw water. I was like, God.
Uh-oh.
Water in the cosmos. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, well, it's a few things we're talking about. We're talking about race, social construct. We're talking about water. We're talking about the cosmos.
Yeah, but sure, how's everybody doing though?
Yeah. So what do you think what our race is? What's your take on
it? You pretty much nailed it on the head. Like I said, it is it's like what you said it is. It's a social construct. So it does exist in a social setting.
Yeah.
But as far as science goes, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't exist scientifically, but it does exist in a social setting. See what I'm saying? So I'm 100% agree with you on that point.
Yeah, so I mean, like I get it. We look at something and we look at it and we say, yeah, it looked like that, right? But that's just, remember, in science, your senses are like the last things you want to use. Yeah, like eyewitness accounts and all that. Science, it's not even good in the court of law. That's like, they really want to use that last for evidence, eyewitness accounts, in case y'all not know that. Like you got bank robbers that put masks on their face that look like human faces. And so an eyewitness will swear that was a certain person. The reality is it's just a mask. So that eyewitness account would be wrong. But when you start looking at it scientifically and break down a photo and realize it was actually an extra layer of skin, which made it was a mask, right? Then, what I'm saying, you'll see, okay, that was a mask. So that eyewitness account don't mean nothing. So in science, the senses, I'm saying, it's not what they use. They're using math and instruments to actually, put forth what it is they need to put forth. So, but also remember, Darwin didn't even use the word race like we thought he did.
Yeah, I was about to ask in what form he was, saying, to clear that part up.
You were talking about the variation, he used it for variation. Remember the title of the book?
Mm-hmm. Origin of species.
Yeah, the
but
species.
See, and that's the issue though.
It's not that you say, listen, the title is, let's pull it up real quick.
No, I'm saying that's how I was using it.
You weren't using like Darwin.
I said we was all the same species. It was only one species. You know what I mean? We was all the same species. There was no different species. You feel me? And there was no inferior and superior amongst the races. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Same thing Darwin was saying. But he used it to group people. Culturally, linguistically, you know what I mean? Geographically, phenotypically, you feel me? So I'm saying all of those things exist, and that's what we call races. You feel me? Like now, like y'all said that's a social construct. All those things that I just named, your phenotype is a social construct, even though that got to do with your biology. You feel me? Ain't nothing social about, you know what I mean, your skin color coming out dark, or you having features that develop on the continent of Africa in that zone. Ain't nothing social about that. That's biological. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So, like I'm saying, what Darwin was saying about the races, I agree with. The same way J.A. Rogers was using it. You feel me? Like, but when people try to say that when racism start to appear from it, and you saying certain people are closer to animals, and you know the intellect is duller in certain groups of human, that's racism. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That don't exist. I totally agree. You know what I mean? So
it's a social term, though. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
You feel me? It's a social term. And the shit was wrong. Because you never was a Negroid, and all quote unquote people that come from Africa don't have big lips and nappy hair. There's a variation. Right? There's a variation of genes, and we know genes and variations of a gene is an allele. So there are different variations. Even pale skin, that gene is found first in Africa. Remember, we didn't get a chance to talk about that, remember?
No, but I agree. But Darwin even say that. Darwin says the races of Africa. He say the races of Europe. So he was distinguishing that there was variations even in that even large populations or swaths of land could be broken down into even more variations. You feel me? A human being. So, like, I think he was using it the same way that. Go ahead.
He was using races for variation.
Right.
Like the title of Origin of the Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of the Favored Races. Mm-hmm. Struggle for life. So people thought he was talking. First of all, he wasn't talking about humans, because the book wasn't even about humans. And he specifically didn't talk about humans because he knew back during that time they wouldn't have been able to handle that. Remember, the church was entrenched, so he couldn't do that. So the favorite races was really he was talking about the variations.
But he did mention the races of human beings.
No, at the end, he in passing he made he dropped like 2 lines. He said, you know, later on we're gonna figure out that man too, right? So the book wasn't ever about humans. It was about the other animals and the other birds. Well, birds are animals, plants. So he had to, like, I call it, he didn't want to get put out the movie. So, like, you know, when I can do things a couple ways. I can be mean and nasty with it and just beat you all the way down and get people mad at me and frustrated. And then I can keep myself in the movie and keep myself in the conversation. So that's what Darwin was basically doing. He was trying to keep himself in the conversation without people running scared. Because at this point, they literally thought that the book of Genesis was the how man came about. And see, we don't put that, you gotta put that into perspective. Like, you mean, I'm saying there was a time when people literally thought that the Bible was legitimately where human beings came from. There wasn't no fight. Or if you was an Egyptian, you would have your cosmology story. Or if you was a Zulu, you had your cosmology story. But European nations legitimately thought that the Bible was where humanity came from. And since Europeans was in power at this time, right, then, you know, they mandated, and the rule was that that's where we came from. Simple as that. Somewhere in Asia. And then you get people fighting back, well, it was Asia. Okay, but the primary thing was Genesis, the Bible, is where how man was formed and created. Charles Darwin's family were monogenesis, meaning they thought that humans came from, you know, set of humans, one human, one male, one female, and out of that Genesis, the rest of everybody came, right? Straight from the Bible. There was no alternatives. Not unless you went to different African stories, unless you went to Mesoamerica, Australia, and they all had their different stories. That's why I'm saying they all was wrong. All the cosmology stories are wrong. And you know, the people that's on the black, they can't even handle that. Oh, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, they was all wrong. The Egyptians was wrong. They was all wrong. And just take it. But that's okay. That's okay. The conversation was started though. That's important. The conversation was started. Anybody want to add to that?
I was gonna pull up that skin map real quick, but I can't even. I'm trying to download the shit. It ain't working. Go ahead though.
He's stuck on you guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that skin map.
Hold on. Got to add something. Let me see if I can get Corey on here. Let me see if I can get him. So so I mean, there's no framework. Like they're like, what the hell are you talking about? He was like so far past. You know what I'm saying? Think about right now, people giving us some damn in 2020, yo, with all the internet and all the access to Google, and you can literally go into a virtual tour of any museum of worth. The museums got their stuff logged, and you can go online and see it. Right? Think about that. Telescopes, microscopes, you can see viruses and all that. Electron microscope, you can see a virus, and ninjas is sitting there saying viruses ain't real. You can understand them saying it back then, but there's no excuse for it right now. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for saying that evolution ain't real, because look at all the stuff you can look at. We're talking about a world back then where it was very limited. There's no contact like that. There is no, even though Europeans was traveling globally, there wasn't no connection there. They was exploring, finding stuff. They didn't know. I mean, come on, man. Like, man, 17th century, science was whack. The doctors in North America, when it came to colonize Americas, the doctors was wax. You couldn't tell the difference between a legitimate doctor and a quack. That's why the anti-vaccine movement started. And I can respect that. Them Europeans like, man, what the hell? I don't trust that at all. What do you mean you're going to give me the smallpox in my arm? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Remember, for Christian Europe, a good cure was some prayer and some folk medicine. That's how they tried to handle the issue of viruses. My point I'm trying to make here is that there's no reference point for when Darwin started talking that talk. There's no reference point. It just wasn't. Like, that's a grand goddamn idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was explaining the mechanism in evolution. He talked about evolution, but he didn't say the why. Well, why is it happening? Darwin gives you the why. The why was natural selection, which was just one mechanism. Feel me? So race is just that, a social construct, and the conversations that we having are so far above. You know, that's why we argue, because they just know they're not. I mean, come on. You can imagine how it was back then. Remember, come on, man. We watched the Cosmos, man. Hey, make sure y'all watch Cosmos, man. That's one of our favorite shows around here, man. All right, one of our favorite shows, and man, you got the Catholic Church heavily invested in science. A lot of them priests were actually discovering stuff, and when they found out stuff, man, they was getting murdered. Oh, you gotta stay in the house forever.
Galileo, about to tear his ass up.
Ah, man, what about the priest that actually realized that it wasn't no heaven? It was like an open the cosmos. What about that guy?
Yo, they had it bad back them days, man. They wouldn't have no show. They wouldn't have made it.
They've been kicking out. If we was back then, they'd be kicking out the door.
Oh, we die. They'd kill us. Yeah, we dead.
Yeah, we been dead. So look how people treat us when we start. We say evolution, people say monkeys.
Right.
We don't come from apes. Nobody ever said we came from apes. We said, yeah, we are apes. Man,
so they not even in the conversation. We have to start doing, and I'm gonna personally do this. When we do our pre-show, we're gonna put together a list of words that need to be defined You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we get lost in language. If you don't know the definition of a word, you feel me? Like language gaps is the biggest problem in learning and education. They've shown that, you know, in white schools, their vocabulary is broader. When you have a broader vocabulary, you know what I mean, you have a greater understanding of things. When you have a small vocabulary, right? Like we don't have a scientific vocabulary in our community, right? So it's a lot of things like when you say evolution, right? It's not even defined right in our community, right? So when people don't even have a working understanding of the definition of the word, then they're gonna get everything wrong with it. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So it we need to define words and put them on the screen. That way we all be on the same page. Now, if you get it wrong, it's because then you're not going by the definition. You feel me? You going by, like, if you ask like 20 different people, right, what's evolution? You're gonna get about 7 different answers. You feel me? You're gonna get about 7 different answers because people don't have the correct definitions. And that's just a problem with the educational system. They definitely showed that, you know, in white schools, well, schools that, you know, where the communities have is more affluent, right? That, you know, the vocabulary that they use, you feel me, is greater. They like, you got to use vocabulary, yo. We got to start defining words, yo.
And they actually agree with evolution more than they think. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all earlier, you know, when a person says, "Oh yeah, I think all black, you know, everybody come from Africa," you know what I'm saying? But they don't understand how we even got that information to know that everybody came from Africa or originated in Africa as humans or whatever. And like, if you ain't, then it gets to the apes and then the Homo sapiens. They call themselves Homo sapien, but don't rock with evolution. Don't know about the taxonomy chart that you know classifies with you know species and all of that, the homogeneous, all that stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a tough subject.
Yeah, it seems to be tough, don't it?
Yeah.
It's tough because, like you say, they don't have the vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the understanding of it.
That's like you sitting down in a science class and they start running down all these. You ain't gonna know what the hell. You feel me? Imagine you jumping into the conversation trying to argue and you don't even know, you don't even understand the words that they're using. You feel me? That's like being in a chemistry class and don't have the definition of the, you know what I mean? The word, you don't know what a goddamn what the damn what's that shit called? Damn cussing. The
element chart.
Right? You just got the
oh yeah, you argue with people don't understand.
They don't have the terms. Like it don't, you know what I mean? How can they get in the conversation and really argue? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what you're talking about. So I mean.
So example, let me give you a good example for that. This is how we know where the confusion is and how vocabulary and basic understanding is so important. And so, for instance, the whole country, well, not the whole, 95% of the conscious community. No, maybe can we say 65% of the conscious community?
30.
No, we'll say that we come from Africa and we Africans, right?
99%. 99% of the country.
A lot of them turn into abos.
Yeah,
they don't believe the outer Africa.
yeah. Well, no, they're all hollow Africans, but we also was first in America. They'll play that game too. It's a lot of nuances in the conversation. Correct?
Right.
As soon as you admit, like that video we was looking at, Kent, we had to do a breakdown for the channel. The video the lady was doing, she was talking about race and the social construct. And she made the slip up to state, she said that, well, you know, we come from Africa. As soon as you say we come from Africa, you are just agreeing with evolution, because the only way you can prove we come from Africa is by the study of biological human evolution. That's the study that verifies that we come from Africa, whether you use genes, okay? Whether we use bones, fossilized bones, genes, it all points to the origin of humanity in Africa. So if you say we all come from Africa, yeah, I don't agree with evolution, then my next question is, how do you know? Yep. You don't know unless you use evolution, because that is your proof. Evolution is the proof, right, that humans start out in Africa and diverse around the planet. In case y'all didn't know, there was no cell phones, there was no cars, buses, and trains. And people act like that the African had a global understanding of the world they live in, and they went out and immediately started going to these places. That's not what happened. Right. What is that? Hold on. Let me get you in there.
You saw that skin map, bro, right?
No, did you put it up?
Yeah, hold on, let me put it back on there.
Oh, I see Cannon Bill. How you doing, sis? I don't even like that one.
Yeah, I was trying to find the one that lady had, man, but this, you know, damn fishing through the damn.
Just type in the skin map. Let me see. I phased out, I forgot. How you doing, Sister CK? How you doing? What's good?
Okay.
Peace.
Where the hell is Chef at? I know y'all playing the game together somewhere.
Corey.
I am relaxing. I had a stressful week at work.
See all that. See what I was saying, Chef? Oh, he on the. But I was going to ask him about, you know what I'm saying? So you see how Australia, they kind of down in the same complexion.
Oh, yeah, they're dark. Well,
you know what I'm saying? People. But what we call them black people. Because that's a lot of time, like even with that Hidden Colors DVD, I think the second one, they was trying to say, oh, black people all over the world. But they're talking about skin color. They ain't talking about us, like African Americans.
I've seen some dark indigenous people in South America.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. I was looking for that one. You know that one I was talking about from that lady that Britt Kittles was on with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The biology of skin color video.
Yep. You talking about Gina Nabrowski.
Yeah, and her husband made the skin map, or he had a radiation map and then a skin map, and it just showed, like, you know, showed the relation of the two.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the screen.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So what y'all been talking about? I missed like a good hour.
Well, what time we at? Because we only doing an hour and a half right here on the
So it's only, y'all been live for like 40 minutes. It hasn't been quite an hour.
Yeah. Then the Pseudo Killers. Put the Pseudo Killers channel in there. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Real Black Atheists and the Pseudo Killers. So here we go right there. This one, right? This the one here, buddy.
That's the radiation right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
UV rays.
Yeah.
Yep. Chaplin, see? Gina Nabrowski and Chaplin, that's her husband. Take a look at this, y'all can see that.
Chatty Patty says he wants your best evidence for evolution. You need to be more specific than that, sir.
Well, yeah, that's evidence.
Beating you up, Chatty. We love beating you up like the water we beat you.
That on roster. Oh, we got to get him with the water tonight.
Yeah, you finished.
Oh, man.
You finished, bro. Yeah, through booking. Big stinking Elmo Jenkins.
ACK, we were talking about if race is a social construct. Seth was saying that he don't believe it's just a social construct or something like that. That's what we started.
I mean, it is.
Huh?
How long have people been calling each other white or African American or whatever? It's fairly recent.
Right.
So it is a social construct.
That's it.
And then whatever social, you got to realize whatever social construct that we got over here in the United States, that shit most likely is not going to apply elsewhere.
Right.
So you could have those really dark-skinned people in Australia, and then you could be like, oh, you black. They're going to look at you like you crazy. They don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because they don't describe themselves like that. That's something that was started over here in America.
Facts.
So I don't understand why the pseudos do this. I mean, I'd be beating them up in the darn Facebook post, but they do this all the time where they just want to associate anybody that is slightly darker than a white person, even if they white themselves, but they just slightly darker, they would have wrapped them all into the banner of you are black.
Man, I always blame hidden colors, man. I just, because they started me on my pseudo path. Like, man, black people all over the world. Yeah, we over here, we over there. I mean, that might be true.
Yeah, I would have been like, did they call themselves black?
Right. And are they African American?
Like, they didn't.
It's crazy, man.
I just don't understand. Like it's like, yo, like, why do all of these people have to be your people? Like, do you feel like inferior? Do you feel like it makes you more superior that you have more people that's on your side or something? That's
where it comes from. It's damn near reverse racism, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like we're turning into the ones that want to be the superior race now. Like first, you know what I'm saying? With the white folk who did it.
Learn from the best.
Right. So now we're saying, man, I remember at one point that was like a saying in the conscious community, Black African supremacy and all that. It's like, nah, I ain't trying to be superior to nobody. Like, I just want to live. That's it.
So yeah, y'all see the map on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one-on-one. So look at Africa. This is where humanity starts out. See Africa right there. And so Africa, a large portion of Africa is in zone 1. So as we read down here at the bottom, first of all, it's the academia researcher Nina Zabowski and George Chapman combined clinical and satellite data to produce this map. The colors reflect the degree of ultraviolet radiation at different latitudes. Background patterns illustrate 3 zones of human skin tone. Okay, zone 1. All right, y'all see the 1 contains with the darkest skin color. So every zone 1. What's that noise?
I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, somebody mixed it. They went back to Grandmaster Flash. Sick it. So zone 1. So you see Africa, a lot of it in zone 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if people start out around here, right? This area, Ethiopia, all right, travel down here. Okay, Khoisan is a pinnacle point. These pinnacle point Africans down here, they in zone 2. Khoisan in zone 2, so they skin is lighter than these people in the equator. All right, but anyway, they come out here, they lead, they walk, and they start going into zones where they don't need that darker skin. So they migrate in these areas here, right? All right, and they just lighten up. Being in the area for 30,000 years, man, will change you. That's how powerful nature is. That's how powerful the natural forces are. And as they walk around and go through here and end up in Australia and all that area, you know what I mean? Just depending on where they at, their skin change. It's a biological reason for that. And in America, you go in Americas. If these Native Americans that travel all the way up in Canada, they're lighter than the ones that's down here. California, Mexico, Mesoamerica. Look at Mesoamerica. That's in zone 1. Most of America's in zone 2. Remember zone 2, northern Africa. Okay? Zone 2. So they skin, well, I said zone 2, the skin of people native to zone 2 possess the most potential for growing lighter or darker seasonally. So when Christopher Columbus comes to America, depending on when he came, he would have seen darker or lighter Native Americans. Okay? South America. Zone 3. Natives, zone 3 natives have paler skin to make up for lower levels of sunlight. Here you go, zone 3. Here you go. Boom. All this area right here. Here you go. All right? This explains why we say that race is a social construct, because it's based off of. Remember, you adapt to your environment, adaptation, sexual selection, gene flow, all these things. It ain't even that complicated. What time we got? Where we at?
You just asked me this
9 minutes.
3 minutes ago.
I know I did. 9 minutes. I'm just trying to keep on schedule. Because we're going to get into this water. Where did you make your mind at? Chatty Pat like getting beat up. I can't believe it. Why would anybody like constantly getting beat up, though?
As long as he's learning, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, Chatty.
So what made y'all touch on this topic tonight?
No, something Chef wanted to bring up. Matter of fact, how we got on it, I was telling Uncle about this video my homegirl sent me. This lady was talking about race was a social construct, but then she went on to start killing herself about evolution, said she don't mess with evolution, but she believed the African out of Africa theory, and she believed about 100%. And it's just, I'm like, oh yeah.
She do realize all that stuff is connected, right?
Man,
No, she said the multi-regional theory. She talked about the multi-regional theory.
Multi-regional theory.
Don't say that. It said the multi-regional
hypothesis. Yeah. My bad.
And then the out of Africa theory, like she believes in that. Well, you can't believe in the out of Africa theory and don't.
Oh, and she believes in Homo erectus, but Homo erectus, you know.
It's part of the evolutionary process. It's a human. Yeah. Homo erectus is a human. That's why the word homo.
Yeah, you look like that. How you believe in Homo erectus? You know,
I don't believe in that.
That's Homo erectus.
I ain't come from nothing that look like that.
Yeah, that look like somebody I know out there.
I don't like that picture of Homo erectus right there.
Right, that don't look right.
Yeah, that's the one they got in the museum.
Which one?
That one right there.
Was he supposed to be looking like a model?
I said, which museum you talking about? Which one?
Supposed to be looking like an actress.
That's Homo erectus. Well, that's the one they got in the museum that I went to, the Smithsonian joint.
Oh, all right. It's just a depiction. I don't mean it had to look like that. But
yeah, I mean, they put the makeup on there and do it. You know what I mean, but basically bone structures and all that. But it's skin color based on where they found them. I guess that's why they depicted skin color to be that.
Well.
We say, you going in and out.
The Homo erectus is a human. Can't hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you.
Yeah, he's a human. Homo erectus is a human.
So they knew how much hair he had on him?
I'm not sure about why they got that much hair on that, but I mean, won't nobody get no haircuts.
I'm talking about their body.
No, they ain't had no hair. They've been remember the homogeneous, they already lost their hair, remember?
Hold on, I got one better, Chef. Hold on.
They lost their hair.
So you heard about Lucy though, right?
That developed throughout the body, probably.
Huh?
The sweat glands on the dermis, probably. Yeah, I get it.
Hey, but you heard about Lucy, right?
You don't need. That's why the skin turned colors, because they lost their hair. So if you got hair, you don't need the skin. When you hairy, then you don't need dark skin color.
But what about those gorillas that have dark skin?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to tell you that I'm talking about Homo sapiens now.
That's the one that that the conscious community be claiming, lived 1 million years ago.
Who that?
Lucy. They say, it was a black woman found some million years ago or whatever.
That's a black woman?
That's what the conscious community, so when they didn't understand evolution, they just heard Lucy, a human found millions of years ago, and it was a female, and they automatically, say, oh, there's a black woman found, but they didn't realize that this is what they talking about when they talking about Lucy.
Yeah, that's a chimp.
Nah, that's a homo, what they call that thing, man? Shit, right on the top of my damn head.
CJ. I don't want to miss your question. You say, so why the gorillas underneath their skin have darker skin?
Yeah, like there are some gorillas that they have hair and then they have dark skin.
Yeah, but hair serves the same purpose the skin does. It blocks out UVA rays.
Australopithecus. That's what Lucy was, an Australopithecus.
Yeah, that's not a human.
It is a human.
Yeah, that's a human.
No.
Oh, that's before the human?
Yeah, that was before.
It's an Australopithecine.
Yeah, that's not a human. Like,
That's the Australopithecine.
I wonder if they'll ever figure out what was the where was the intermediate species. They'll ever find a fossil.
all of them intermediate.
Yeah, all of them intermediate. You're intermediate.
3.8 million year old fossil.
Yeah, because they say that there's some in a lot of African DNA that they see that there's an archaic species, but they haven't found any fossils to match it.
Yeah, that's.
I know what you're saying. I can't. There was a damn term, y'all. Integration.
Integration.
Mm-hmm. But that's it.
But I'm trying to figure out how the conscious community got it mixed up though and started saying that was a black woman though.
Was black.
Well, you know, everything was black.
No, I'm talking about the Lucy.
Remember, they considered that to be their ancestor though. Dr. Ben first said that, remember?
Yeah.
Right. So she was a woman and she was in Africa. She's in Africa.
We're getting corrected in the chat. They said that the Australopithecine is human. They're just not Homo sapien.
Who?
Homo sapien. My mistake.
What thing? Say that real slow. Who said that in the chat room?
Pure black.
Pure black.
Hey, thank you, chat. We love it when y'all correct it.
Yeah, they not Homo sapiens for sure.
Hold on. Correct it.
We already know that. No, we already knew that though.
Whoa. Everybody stop it.
No, because somebody said that she wasn't human, and he said that the Australopithecine is human. They're just not Homo sapiens.
And I'm telling you that the Australopithecine is what it is. It's an Australopithecus, and it's not human.
Not in the genus Homo.
The genus Homo, no matter what the person's saying. So they might have corrected you, Miss CK, but they sure as hell had not corrected me.
Hey, I didn't say that. I said I didn't know. I couldn't remember.
I remember. It's called an Australopithecus. Homo erectus is a human. Homo nalali is a human. Homo ergaster, Homo neanderthal is human. Is in a homogeneous family. The Australopithecus is important because for the first time in history, they like half and half. They had like a half human up top and like 8 limbs down the bottom. And they're important because the hips. And they was walking. They had it's called habitual. Meaning they walked all the time. Upright.
Bipedal.
But I said habitual, but man, you fucked me up. God damn.
Okay, go ahead, my bad.
Yo.
I just heard that walking upright. I'm like, yeah, bipedal, right?
I said habitual bipedalism.
Oh, okay.
Habitual, meaning humans are habitual. You know, you understand habitual is mean all the time. So chimps can walk upright, gorillas can walk upright, but they hurt and they get tired. Their hips ain't quite shaped like that. But Lucy was habitual. She walked upright all the time. And they look at her foot, the feet, they can tell, and then specifically the hips. That's why the Australopithecus is important. But in Kenya, they call it their great ancestor, the Australopithecus. I believe it's Australopithecus
Afroensis.
Yep. Now, Australopithecus, now Homo nalali. No, not Homo nalali. What's the one? Artie. Okay, now Artie proves that humans did not come from knuckle walking apes. Proves that we was fit for trees. Like humans are adapted well in trees. Right now, y'all go outside and climb. Why do you think your kids can climb in trees so well? See, we climb trees real good. Okay, so we was walking on tree limbs and tree branches, standing up. in trees, being able to grab trees. That was our thing, in the trees. So we didn't develop walking on the savannah like they thought. We developed walking in the trees. And art proves that.
So check it out. It says Australopithecus is a genus of the hominins that existed in Africa from around 4.2 to 1.9 million years ago, and from which the genus Homo, including modern humans, is considered to be descended. So we descend, is believed that we are descended from that. Our genus Homo is descended from the Australopithecus, but an Australopithecus is not a Homo. They believe that the Homo evolved out of the Australopithecus. So they're not the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that neither.
I know. I was just clearing it up because they tried to say it was a human.
Oh no, you're right about that. But I'm saying, right, and that source you got, what source you reading from?
The wiki.
Yeah, it say believe to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we kind of come from that, out of that area. Remember, it's not even a straight line. It's branch ways, lines. Yeah, it's not even like a tree. The tree is really, you know what I'm saying? It's really the interbreeding, into all that stuff, interbreeding and all that. So really, we're a hodgepodge of these different hominids. You know the way, huh?
A hodgepodge of those different hominids and great apes.
Yep. So that's why when CK brings up the DNA and how we got this ghost DNA from archaic, like A00 is an archaic species. It's in our DNA. They haven't found it.
Right.
It's absolutely that. So that's why the joke is when you talk about white people mixed with Neanderthal, well, hell, we all mixed with something.
With the archaic humans, right? Because it was all mixing. That's how we turned into Homo sapiens from the interbreeding of those different but all human beings got, because they found ours is the A00 that's in our genes. Europeans and Asians have the Nisiphin and Neanderthal and theirs. You feel me? So and it's probably more than that. That's, you know what I mean? Because they found the
right, it's called the ghost gene. They don't even name. They don't even name. They put nomenclature. It's called the ghost gene.
Yeah, it's called the ghost Eurasian gene. That the Europeans share with the Native Americans, right?
Yeah, I seen a great video. I can't think of the name of it. It was so powerful. Had me mesmerized for a couple of weeks, and it just talked about how they know how Homo sapiens came to be based off the fact that they had like a trade, watch this, y'all, a trade network going. But these archaic species was actually trading different things. Yeah, like why is these shells that come from all the way down South Africa, how's they up north? Because they was trading back and forth, right? They was having sex with each other. Remember, if you're within 2 million years of another species, you can mix with them. Don't forget that. Y'all saying, man, well, I can't believe we was messing with them. See, the point is that you're not knowing that. you're not viewing a Neanderthal like that. You feel me? That's not how you seen it. Just like we see, oh man, you ain't eat no meat. You that crazy, but a lot of species was eating raw meat before they cooked it. They weren't saying, man, raw meat, that's meat.
It was eating meat. People say we ain't eat meat. It was eating meat.
It was eating meat. All right, so I think we're at 1:30. I think we is.
Yeah, 1:20 at least.
68 minutes.
That's about 1:08.
That's 1:08. Yep, we got time. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. Let me see my.
It says y'all been streaming for an hour on my end.
Yeah, it's hour 60 minutes, right?
But that go to show like how things can become pseudo, because it's like y'all just said what the Lucy was, and then now I'm seeing memes on Facebook like a couple of years ago. You know, it was a black woman, you know, 3.5 million years ago. Her name was Lucy. They found her bones. You know what I mean? And they just mixed the whole shit up. But they say they don't rock with evolution. But here you are quoting Lucy.
Claiming Lucy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you claiming Lucy, but you don't fuck with evolution. But you don't even know what Lucy is. You got a picture of a black woman of an African American woman on there. Like, and when you show them that, they be like, "Oh hell no, we ain't that." But nigga, that's what you're talking about. You know, but yeah, man.
Yeah, it's man. Look,
I think even Bob, what's Bob Marley's son? Damon Marley.
Okay.
He had an album out. It was my bad. Siri be doing what she wants sometimes. He dropped the album or whatever and had the Lucy thing in there. He had the information in there or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I don't know. They be damn wilding out sometime with that.
She had a different what?
No, I said they just be wilding out sometime with the misinformation, like trying to claim her as a black woman. And she was like 3 feet tall, I think.
Yeah, but the Kenyans say that's their ancestor, though.
Mm-hmm.
Who is we to tell them something different? That's an interesting point right there, right?
Yep.
Right now, they look you right in your face. That's our ancestors. So in a weird kind of way, I guess you could, it's depending on how you look at it, but and not to mention, man, the science is constantly moving. It's not just one way.
Sean said, let him in. He about to bust out bubble, yo. He waiting in the queue.
Oh, Lord.
What? Sean, let me let you in here, man. All right. Mossy Clan Warrior, what's good, bro?
You're here. I go to work.
What up? What's up?
Oh, Robbie.
What you do, man? What's good? What's on your mind there, man?
You on mute, Sean?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm back. Nah, you know, I was in the stream yard with Kofi now just a minute ago.
Oh, okay. All right. What's going on with them?
Man, not much. We just did a little conversation about, you know, some of the culture, African culture and tradition. But now I was listening to y'all on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was talking, y'all talk. I ain't got nothing against none of y'all saying, man, not tonight. I just want to argue in the middle. I just want to stay in the middle, man. I don't want to go right. You know what I'm saying? I'll come on here and get on Shefford. And then, you know what I'm saying? Shefford threw that curveball out there, posted up there. Nah, look, it's hard. Listen, this is the thing about politics. It's hard to argue for both sides for me. Like, there's no true pro and, you know, there's no true pros for either side here. This is like handicap fight. It's like a handicap fight. So it's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't. But nah, except for what you said, though, it's kind of true, you know. Biden was responsible. He was a part of a bill that, you know, in a bad position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when we look back, we can't hold anything to Trump. Well, we can hold things to Trump right now because of the way he not only handled the pandemic, but his continual ignorance in the pandemic. To say what he said in that presidential debate, that this thing is, looks like we're on the back end of this thing.
And is roaring right now.
Right. And we just seen
up to 1,000 deaths a day. And they not even talking about it.
Yeah, bro. They not. They're not.
Want everybody to go back to work, act like nothing going on.
Right. And
yesterday it was 82,000 recorded cases yesterday. That was the most since the shit started.
Yep.
And they not even talking about it.
Election coming up, they want people to focus on that.
You're trying to power through, bro. But y'all do understand we're in the middle of a conundrum, though, right? Y'all do get that, right?
Like, say that.
Well, so this is what they're doing with science. They recognize that most people that catch it won't die, right? So they're willing to sacrifice people, and it sounds hard. They're willing to sacrifice people based off of the science telling you that everybody not gonna just, it ain't like that flu pandemic of 1918 when niggas was get sick at 9 o'clock in the morning and be dead at 5 o'clock. It ain't that, right? So they just saying, well, we're willing for a certain amount of people to die, and we're just gonna power through it. Now, if the Democrats get in the office, what they're gonna do is they're gonna shut it down, right?
As they should.
We don't know that. We don't know what the Democrats would do.
Right. That's what they talking that shit. But we know that they understand economics too. And like Trump said, well, if you shut it down, you ain't gonna have no country, you ain't gonna have no damn country to shut down if you don't keep it open. He's right. The place we live in called America is based off of money and capital and people working and products and goods and trade and all that. So if you're not doing that, it's a problem. And so what they're saying is that the problem of the corona, right? You might have a bigger problem if people don't have access to hospitals because of, you know what I'm saying? Because people are still getting sick, people still having heart attacks, all kinds of stuff, right? You need all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that people need to pay their rent, people need to buy food, all that stuff. And when you shut down, none of that's happening. So they saying they weighing their options on it. They weighing the options. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's the weighing the options. Like, so I understand the science very well. And I also understand economics. And, you know, hell, I've been working through the whole pandemic. My business kept me working through the whole pandemic. So what? Mask up. I kept the best masks. Mask up.
Hey, yo, did you go pick up the mask today, huh?
Oh, it's there now. I get them all. All right. So I hope y'all get my point. I got some of them to show y'all, man. I'm masked up. So you can make it, but Pete, the problem is this, that America works against itself, right? Now, Ken will tell you, man, you need to make people wear masks, but that's not what America is based off of. It's not based off of making nobody do nothing. It's based off of giving you choices. You have a right to bear arms. It don't mean you got to. You have a right to wear a mask. You have a right to get a vaccine. But private businesses also have a right to say, no, for you to come in here, you gotta have a mask. And then we know that they don't strongly enforce it. They ain't gonna fight no damn customer over it. Right? So for the most
some people,
man, they're kicking them out.
Yeah.
Arresting them.
I mean, that's your right. If you got the signs posted, you don't gotta let people in there. Right. But for public relations, Walmart, them, they hope you wearing your damn masks in there. Kroger and all that, they make you wear the mask. The point I'm trying to make is, you know, we had this conversation before, Ken. I'd rather people have a choice to wear a mask than say you got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's a slippery slope, bro.
Yeah, and I was just saying, man, it's like, you know, you gotta, sometimes people don't know no better, man, and you really gotta make them do things for the better of the world, you know, for the better of the community, you know what I mean?
There you go, Chef. So then
I ain't gonna get into that with y'all though. I already know.
I agree with you.
I ain't gonna get into it, but it's just, man, some things just go without saying, man. Like,
but that's not America.
That's kids, man.
That's Russia, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
American culture is not fit for this. Meaning, our very culture, everybody fucking hardhead, dude. So being an American, being an African American, being just in America, period, the culture that's been set, dude, it's not a good environment for a pandemic, bro. And why you think our numbers are so high? I don't care what the Democrats say. You ain't gonna baby. Yeah. So Trump, if you really look at what Trump did, he went
with the crowd.
Huh?
Yeah. He a full-blooded American. He went with the crowd.
Yeah.
Nah, he went with no, he didn't. Watch this. No, what we wanted him to do was those who really love science. We wanted this nigga to stay. He, as a president, what he did was he got on Twitter and started talking shit. Twitter ain't the Oval Office. When you're on Twitter, nigga, that's your private statements. When in that Oval Office, when he was in the Oval Office, he actually had reopening plans and gave all the states a choice whether they wanted to follow or not. Now, am I right or wrong? Right or wrong, Sean?
Wrong.
I thought he did too, though. I thought I heard that.
He had no damn plan.
No, I'm saying as far as he gave the states a choice.
He said he had a plan, bro. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, show it. Put it on the screen.
No.
No. Put it on the screen.
You talking in the beginning?
Put it on the screen. Put his plan for reopenings, the whole thing.
Yes, he did, yo. In New York.
He didn't show it, just like his platinum plan. He said it. He didn't show it.
No, he did, man.
Okay, all right.
Are you talking about recently him showing the plan or when it first started?
So when we were trying to open up, he had certain things, certain levels you had to meet before you reopened.
Yeah.
If you decided to follow that.
Yeah, but that was through first a bunch of missteps first song. He did not want to even go with the initial 2 weeks. He was fighting from the jump. It wasn't about eventually reopening. He was trying to do it at a time when the hospital was still at a critical state.
Wait, is it just me? You know what? I'm starting to think I am retarded here.
You is. You is.
Right. I need somebody to talk while I go find that plan.
I asked you to do that instead of talking.
So you're saying that what I just said is wrong. That the initial step that Trump had, that Fauci was trying to get him to chill on at least a couple weeks in the beginning. This is back in May. Go ahead.
The government had a plan for reopening, bro. Look, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
All right,
ladies
and gentlemen, here we go. Since can't provide the actual source and we don't get dates for anything, I'm going to put it on the screen.
How can Trump and the government have at least at that point, have a plan for reopening when him and the actual scientists ain't on lock and step? So how could you know what I'm saying?
On Twitter, they not on lock and step.
Nah. In the White House, they ain't either, bro.
Nah, they faking you out, yo.
Okay.
Nah, son. They didn't present that joint till like May.
I'm gonna let y'all have
it was like the end of March into May when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna be opening."
Let's see if I can get a date.
I mean, not March, into April.
They don't even put no date on here, yo. They careful.
And that's when he really started going against Fauci, but then it got worse. And then he was like, okay, he chilled on it for a little while. And then he came back a little bit down the road and then started talking about reopening. But he was hard on reopening, but shit got really bad, and he had no choice but to fall back. So I'm saying that's how it was in the beginning. Huh? That shouldn't even be a.
So where do we go?
I'm trying to find the date.
More details about Trump's reopening plan. What are y'all talking about, man? Let me see. Y'all funny. He had 3 phases, Trump.
Yeah, they did, but
no. Look next to the White House. What is next to the White House?
BBC. Trump's
plan. Who? No. Don't give him credit. Who?
No, man, come on, y'all. All right, man, y'all be so bad trying to beat a nigga up all the time. Trump.
I'm just trying to figure out, you're saying that this was the initial plan from April and May. This is what you're proposing.
Man, I'm telling y'all, man, why y'all keep me being the fucking king all the goddamn time beating niggas up? I get tired of that shit.
Look at my screen real quick.
The screen, because you
April 2020, the guidelines opening up again. April 2020.
So this was like end of April, beginning of May. Because I remember when it came on the news, because I don't watch the news. But somebody was watching it at work, and I was like, they finna open this shit up? Yeah. I was like, ooh.
I said he had a plan for opening up. Did I not say that?
April 20. That's why Sosa said what he said. He said, hold on. Are you talking about when this thing jumped off? Or are you talking about after the fact?
How you gonna have a plan to be open when the shit jump off and they didn't know what the hell was going on? How that sound? How does that make sense?
Him, it was a disease that only affected Chinese, and he said that in the presidential debate.
Okay, that's fine. But let's not run around. Let's keep it straight here. We're talking about when we was talking just now. I said that Trump didn't just say, open this motherfucker back. Y'all tried to make it seem like the nigga just say, everybody just go back to work. I said, no, bro. Once they closed it, they had a plan for reopening. And they didn't make nobody do it. What they did was, it was a suggestion to the different governors, and the governors followed different portions of the plan. Like in Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta, she decided to follow the plan. It took her time. New York followed the plan. It took their time. Other states decided we ignoring that shit. They were supposed to reach certain benchmarks before they opened up. Yeah, like, come on, man. That's what I said. Why y'all messing with me? Y'all know that's what I said. So, sir. What?
I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it.
No, don't let me have it. We don't let, I ain't let nobody have shit.
I ain't letting you have shit.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what you say. Your boy came out 4 months later talking about he got a plan. We ain't see the plan.
You did see the plan. Here it goes.
There was no plan. In Atlanta, the initial plan was 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they came back and said, we're going to have to extend it another 2 weeks. Like, it was touch and go. There was no, like at this particular time, there was no plan. They thought in 2 weeks, we can see, they say, you know, we're going to wait 2 weeks, see what the curve is. And they say, you know what? We're going to need to wait another 2 weeks. So and then they waited, taking more steps. And then the governor and the mayor was at conflict because she wanted to be strict with masks and not reopening. And Kemp was like, nah, we're not going to be as strict as you want to be. We're going to reopen to agree. And this is, I mean, to a certain degree. And the reason we got to the certain levels because Kemp fought against Keisha Bottoms.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I don't think it was Trump's plan. I thought it was something that the CDC came up with.
Here you go, right here.
You so the why? Let's just read it. Don't talk me to death. Read it. I sent it to you. I sure did. Do you have?
Don't send me nothing.
I ain't sending to you.
On April 16, 2020, the president unveiled the opening up America Again guidelines, a 3-phase data-driven approach based on the advice of public health experts to help state and local officials reopen their economies and get
money. Give my money. Stop playing. It was a bet. Give my money. I want to die.
One more time. On April 16, 4.5 months.
But it was closed, bro.
Let me finish. You was at work, I was at work.
Because we were designated as.
Let me finish. On April 16, 2020, the president unveiled the Opening Up America Again guidelines, a 3-phased, data-driven approach based on, let me say this slow, based on the advice of public health experts to help state and local officials reopen their economies and get people back to work. So this is based on the advice of public health experts.
Okay, Sean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I sure as fuck wouldn't have listened to Trump trying to come up with his own idea. What else was he supposed to base it off of but the experts?
He was arguing with Fauci from day one and all the health experts.
Who said it was a hoax, man?
That's why I'm confused at the.
Hold on, y'all. Are y'all serious right now?
He said it was a hoax.
Hold on, I'm so strict. That's how strict I am. I'm strict, y'all. When I say I'm strict, meaning my mind does not allow me to hang out with y'all right now, what y'all saying. Because I know how the United States government works. Trump is the most ignorant person running around this joint. And you know why he's ignorant? Because as a president, people listen to your ass. But the truth is, nobody in government listens to the president. It's a collective effort. He only has one goddamn vote. Simple as that. So
let me ask you this,
Let me finish my smear here. I'm saying, I sent you something to read though, bro. You ain't got to read it, but I sent it. I'm saying he talked that tough tally talk. Oh, it ain't real. Oh, I'm going to take hydrocortisone. When the nigga got sick, he took what the doctors gave him. Why? Because the doctors don't listen to him. The doctors ain't gonna lose their job and get malpractice, killing the damn president based off this fool talking about, I'm gonna drink the hydrochlorine. No one listens to him. At the end of the day, we do not live in a dictatorship, and there are rules and regulations to govern America. The new shit is this nigga getting on Twitter talking shit. And I'm telling you, it's the talking shit Twitter. He's a talk you to death guy. When the rubber hits the road, this guy will listen to the experts and put a plan to reopen. Is it his plan? Hell no. It's the experts' plan. He's going to follow the science.
He's arguing with the expert.
Yeah. And my whole point of bringing up what I was bringing up was that Trump was totally against it, but his hand was forced because of the conditions that were being placed on the people. This is why he had to go to that plan, because if it was up to him, he wouldn't have went with that shit. But it got so bad, he did not have a choice. It's like when he got COVID, he had to take the medication. He was out of option. That's what I said.
Right now.
And when he called COVID, his whole world slowed all the way down because he was vulnerable. He looked like a fool. After all that shit talking he did on Twitter, he looked like a fool.
Listen, man. Right, y'all the ones bleed that nigga. Listen, y'all. Everybody.
What you mean? You can only take a man at face value. Demonstration beats conversation, Unc. Demonstration beats conversation. What was he demonstrating? Everything that was anti-science. No, slow it down. Everything that was anti-science regarding the pandemic, it was a hoax. This was the Chinese people's disease. We ain't gonna get this. It's not that serious. Then he battled with Fauci when Fauci was trying to tell these people. He took him all out of context.
Wait.
Several times.
Hold on. Is it? I just want. I'm gonna let y'all finish talking. Since we officially live in Russia, where one nigga can make a decision. I thought we lived in the United States.
Once again,
it sent us to war in Iraq.
We're talking about Trump. We ain't talking about everything else. We're talking about the person who orchestrated the most ignorant handling of a pandemic in the history of our time. This was more botched than Bush with Katrina.
Man, the Democrats botched it more.
Oh man, here we go with that.
The N1H1.
Listen, stay.
Are y'all serious right now?
Unc. We ain't talking about the Democrats, Unc. We talking about Trump, Unc. We talking about 45. We ain't talking about the left. We ain't talking about the right. We talking about 45. In the middle. Stay in the middle, Unc. Don't go left. Don't go right. Stay with me. Quit capping.
I'm gonna say this. It might sound like I'm defending Trump, which I never had. I'm simply presenting the facts, ladies and gentlemen. The facts are we do not live in Cuba. We do not live in Russia. Trump can say what the hell he wants out of his mouth. That's the thing that's so unordinary and so unorthodox about it, because presidents don't use social media and get loose. They usually keep a certain level of professionalism. Okay, this nigga actually thinks in his mind that he's a dictator. He actually thinks that him talking can actually, the reality is, no matter what this nigga say, there are protocols in place to check a nigga just like him, and the system fucking works. So at the end of the day, the nigga had to go to the public experts, is why they put the plans in, that's why they have public expert CDC. So that one crazy white boy can't just start spewing out orders. He think he can, but he can't. And for the life of me, why y'all
didn't Trump just send a gang of,
Trump didn't
federal police to arrest a gang of people?
Trump don't send nobody.
Oh shit.
Trump, dude. What is wrong with y'all? What the hell are we? Okay, let me
argue. We're getting off. We're straying away from the center of what we was talking about.
Exactly. Unc is doing this. I don't know why you're doing this, Unc.
The handling of the pandemic. I'm not talking about dictatorships.
Right? That was the conversation. I said he had a plan to reopen. Sean told us that it was based off of experts supply. I'm like, well, where the hell else was he supposed to get it from? It's the only place he can get it from. Trump ain't sitting there and making no plan because nobody's listening. He's not allowed to do that, bro. He's not allowed. There are protocols You
are making up other arguments that nobody else is making. I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm saying without you going left and right. I told you stay in the middle with me. You try to go left and right.
How much I go left and right, Sean? I'm simply trying to tell you that
we're not going left and right.
Huh?
I'm trying to keep you straight and narrow.
Straight.
I'm trying to get you left and right. Sosa trying to keep you straight and narrow. You keep going left and right. Listen, let me slow it down. 45 said he had a plan.
Huh?
45 did not listen to the experts.
Who?
When things transpired, 45, that's his name, President 45. He botched this.
Experts.
He did not listen.
Oh, man.
Initially, at least.
When this thing jumped on, do you think that he found out in December that there was a virus that was just floating across the whole world in December? He's the president of the United States.
Yeah, plus you got the tapes. You got the tapes with him on a recording telling you
why. I know why they made a decision together. Not, I mean, you know what, y'all? You know what? If y'all actually think Trump,
why you acting so hard-headed? You acting like Professor Walter Williams right now. You don't want to listen to nobody.
I have to listen to you. I know damn well Trump don't make no decision to go to damn war.
Nobody is saying it like that though.
Oh no, it's happened before.
Y'all bugged out right there. Y'all can't. None of y'all give me one source where Trump can say, "Let's go to war." We go to war.
I asked you to.
I mean, President Bush. Are we ignoring what happened there?
And close the damn borders right now. Y'all ain't got no sources on that. Until y'all.
I'm not saying that. Nobody. I'm not saying that.
All of y'all on that one. Now I'm
not saying that. The argument is, as you said, that Trump had a plan for reopening. And I said the plan he came up with is because he was forced to. Because initially he went against all the experts and he was putting out misinformation that was getting other states like Texas to reopen sooner than it was, and other Republican-led states were trying to reopen when it wasn't a good idea to do so. That's what we're talking about. And then after things got cataclysmic, he had to fall back, and that's when he took the plan, give it to him by the experts, and implemented a reopening phase. But not because he wanted to, he was forced to. That's my argument. I'm not talking about dictatorships and none of that. That is the argument I'm talking about.
No, what I'm telling you is each individual state.
Oh my gosh, man. I don't know why you think we are disagreeing with you on how policies and procedures work. We're not saying he has all this power to make decisions. Nobody is saying that.
Wait, hold on, I don't get that. Y'all don't get that each individual. Do y'all know that marijuana is illegal on the federal level? I mean,
of course. I just broke it down exactly to you how Texas did.
Why are we getting the marijuana right now?
Are you sure that marijuana is illegal on the federal?
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's why marijuana companies can't put their money in banks and shit, like certain areas like that. Yeah, got
it. The point I'm trying to make here is that individual states and governors can vote whether they want to legalize marijuana. Am I not right or wrong with this?
Of course.
And still is illegal on the federal level. So anytime the feds want you, they can come in.
Well, your internet messing up for good reason, because you're trying to defend something and you're not trying to comprehend what we're saying. We're not saying that this dude has any power. We're not going to give him that type of authority. What we're saying is his ability to be disingenuous and not being careful with this thing is an issue. He went and he ran to Twitter. But not only did he run the Twitter, he stood up in those press conferences, those daily press conferences, and he took shots at everybody in there and said all of these things. He had his following, people that listen to the president say things like, "This is a hoax. This is not real. I don't need to wear a mask. I'm not going to catch it. These numbers about people dying are fake." He had his base, his people, these people that are out there thinking this way, that made other people more ignorant than they already are, because people personality worship, and they're gonna ride or die with who they think is right based on how they feel about a particular person over a particular issue. What I'm saying is,
can we admit that's not being responsible leader? Can we admit that?
That's my point.
That was our whole point from the beginning.
Hey, we gotta switch that joint up.
Bro, hold on. I gotta do what?
It's an hour and like 20, 30, 40 now.
Yeah, you gotta switch, bro.
No, I ain't.
Oh, Trump supporter.
I'm gonna make this point, and I thought I made myself clear. Trump is a wild dude. He's definitely the first president ever in the history of America to use social media the way he does. He's bananas with this shit. But I'm saying is we have checks and balances for crazy niggas like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So yes, he talked that talk and talked that shit. But the reality is the way the system has been set up is he can't do it by himself. So I'm saying, see, you cutting. Go ahead, man. So I think we're talking about two separate issues here. I'm agreeing with y'all. The nigga was doing all that, but the truth is, at the end of the day, yo, he gotta do what his cabinet says. Dude, you got Democrat. Wait a minute, he can't just close the border, bro. He can't say.
Said you part of the Tea Party.
You know what? Okay, so all right, so now we're gonna ride with ignorance now. But I
might as well, shit.
I bet y'all won't show me a source where the nigga can just send us to war by himself. I bet y'all won't show me a source where the nigga can close down everything on his word. I bet y'all can. Why y'all?
I mean, Bush sent us to war to Iraq without Congress.
He can't cause no war, no damn Iraq. Give me a source, man.
I'm saying Bush did. He went to work with Iraq. He didn't consult with Congress.
You making it up, you tripping, and you just having fun and got people riding with the buffoonery. Yeah. Go get that source. Why do we live in the United States? This is not communism where Stalin can just starve the people out on the wrong pseudoscientific statement.
I love this. I love this. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Man, you tripping, man. Y'all disappointing on this issue here.
Keep talking. Keep talking. President Donald Trump has vetoed 8 bills. There have been 2,582 presidential vetoes since 1789. So let's take a look at the vetoes by Trump.
Yes, bro, that's a different. Now you switching. Now you don't.
No. If he has the power to veto.
You don't know what kind of evidence he's finna bring.
Evidence just because he vetoed. I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. You don't know that song?
And he has the ability to administer. Remember, he was fighting. New York was trying to get more respirators and that into New York. He was in charge of too, like how many are dispersed to particular areas, right?
Y'all got this.
I'm just saying, like, these are the things he could do, and also what he can do is not allow Fauci to speak when he's at the podium. He kind of put a gag order on Fauci because Fauci wasn't delivering the type of information that he wanted to deliver to his base.
Yeah, it went totally against him.
Yeah. So those are the things that he can start doing. So when other states who have their
y'all
own,
don't remember what Fauci said, yo? Was y'all trying to be funny?
Huh?
Hey, yo, what your boy Trump said here, don't wear no mask, yo.
Did not Fauci say a mask won't help you? Wait, do y'all not remember Fauci saying a mask won't help you, or y'all just gonna fuck with me now?
That's not my dad. Yeah, he did say that. But when
Fauci, do you remember why he said that? Though?
But when Fauci was not in agreement with how fast to reopen, he put a gag order on Fauci.
I know, but you kind of skated over that point that Fauci was the first motherfucking professional head of the goddamn CDC to say a mask ain't gonna really help you. Do y'all not remember that?
And you know why he did that, right? So we got.
And I do know why he did that.
Come on now. All right.
So why did he do it?
I want you to tell me why he did it. Why he say that?
He did it because mask at that time was at a premium, and he needed for people to not go into a mask buying frenzy. So the people that are first responders would have a mask available.
You kind of made that up there, bro. The reason
I made that up.
What do you mean? He said that himself.
I thought that exactly was his reason for.
No.
Okay, you tell me what his reason was. What was his reason?
because the science wasn't out on it yet, and it was an either or. They didn't know at that point, yo. And you know, being as though it's a COVID disease, I mean, it's a novel disease that niggas say something and then next week is different. And we as scientifically literate understand that just because you said it was and change your mind, that don't put you in default setting. That puts you in learning and doing the right thing. So now we have the science on the mask, and now we know why it's important to wear masks now. And Trump is saying that. But back then, Fauci was switching back. Everybody was switching back and forth. He still might switch. Sean know that. Sean knows we can use it, and it's cute. Oh, Trump, no, but the truth is, Trump
question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
Trump? I think
the efficacy of
you have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say,
Vice President Biden, go ahead, sir.
Well, masks make a big difference. His own head of the CDC said if we just wore masks between now, everybody wore masks in social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also said the opposite. They've also said
no serious person said the opposite.
Well, look at Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the opposite.
He did not say the opposite.
We got a little bit more than a minute left in this
masks
segment.
Masks are not good. Then he changed his mind. He said masks are good. I'm okay with masks.
Yeah, he did switch. Fauci did switch, man. Come on, yo.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question though. Was mask at a shortage at that time?
Man, we could have cut some fucking t-shirts up and made a mask, yo.
No, because at that listen, viruses, even before then, they knew that a scarf would not protect you against an airborne a virus. Even though at time they thought it was airborne, at time they reduced it and then went back to airborne. They still knew that as far as being out in the public with it, you're not protected. You're only protecting others. They said that from the jump. If you wear a mask, the mask is not going to prevent you from getting the virus. It's more of a protection for other people. They said that from the jump, right?
No, that ain't what Fauci said from the jump.
Fauci said that from the jump.
Yeah, he said, he said, don't hold me to it. He was basically saying that, yeah, you can wear it, but it ain't going to really help you. Didn't he say that?
Yeah, because he said it's not going to help you because.
Okay.
Yeah, it only help it only help other people. See what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why they talk about social distance. That's why they implemented social distance and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, but now the science is out on it, yo, and masks really do help reduce it. Am I correct? So no one's saying it. Yeah, it's important. Social distance, not only social distancing, washing your hands is vital, right? So what I'm trying to say is we could just take the shit and play games with it and this, that, and the other and say, oh, Fauci wasn't the same way Trump misused his motherfucking statements. You know what I'm saying? Trump misused the Jew statements. Okay. He took that as we gotta always don't worry about wearing them. He took it and he stayed with it. But the reality is, man, the thing changed and everybody is taking advantage of the fact that information is changing back and forth based off what they know and don't know. That's why we're such a problem right now with everybody because they think you go to know. Go ahead.
Yeah, but in the beginning, man, mask was at a premium. I remember I bought my first K95 mask, 2 for $30 from the Asian shop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good one.
It was. Yeah, KN95.
Yeah, they're the good ones.
Yeah, they was like 15 a piece. Like now you get it for like they're abundance. You get it for like $3 most places. Some places $5. I get it for like $3.
They're the premium now. You can get them. So yeah, it was a lot of that. So it's a lot of different factors. Not that you definitely wasn't getting the N95s.
Yeah, you had to go. You had to go out to the Alpharetta. The Asians had them. Only the Asians, because that's what they do. They call back home like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we do with the mask. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I could always get them off of Amazon. I always had a heavy supply of different masks. Then Chef would send me the N95s. But I think the point I'm making is that we know how the government is ran, and it's not based off of one person. That's all I'm saying, man. Like then what's show me the difference between communism and being in a democracy, yo?
Yeah, we agree with that. CK is messing with you, man. Don't let CK.
Yeah, I know CK. She yeah. I'm just trying to make a point, yo. We don't gotta listen to what he say. At the end of the day, he runs a quote unquote literal nation.
Who gave him the authority to take the CDC off the joint?
I don't know. Take him off the what? Hold on, off the what? Off
okay, the what? So you remember the data that was collected regarding COVID-19 cases and all of that stuff?
I remember he said that the information isn't going to be sent to them no more. It's coming to the
White House is going to be
to the White House.
Who does?
We're not going to be funding the World Health Organization. Blah, blah, blah.
Nah, hold on. He was right though to get off that for a minute because they wasn't on top of their game at first. Am I wrong?
Our country wasn't on top of their game. Like,
point, man. Hold on, man.
In terms of what? In terms of what you talking about?
You gotta argue. You're about to argue with the Journal of Nature, brother. I got it in your face. I got the Journal of Nature in your face. Let's argue. Come on. Come on. Your source.
In the middle of things, man. Come on, Sean. What are we arguing about right now?
The White House factor. Why did the Trump administration decide to remove the CDC
now you
job leading data surveillance?
No,
listen, Unc. Will you just listen? You asked me a question, I want to answer so you understand what I'm saying. That's all.
No, I'm saying you sound better. You said the administration. Now you sound a little bit better. Yeah, yeah, that's the best.
It's his administration.
Man, it's the people he picked, man.
Let me finish. Rather than modernizing the agency's data collection system, Jose Arita, the HHS Chief Information Officer, and the CDC Director, Robert Redfield, have welcomed the transition of responsibility as a way of cutting down on duplication and making data available more quickly than in the former system. But that still doesn't answer the question of why these changes couldn't have happened within the CDC. Neither the HHS nor the CDC responded to NASA's request for an interview. Here we go. What we do know is that this is not the first time that Trump's administration has bypassed the CDC's researchers, acted contrary to the agency's advice, or compelled it to change that advice. On the 25th of February, Nancy Messinor, or however you say her name, the CDC's head of immunization and respiratory disease, warned that the coronavirus would spread in communities in the United States. 2/25, she said this. Both Trump and Azar publicly refuted this. And the following day, Trump appointed U.S. Vice President Mike Pence to the head of the National Coronavirus Task Force that would see the CDC playing a less prominent part in the pandemic response. Until recently, Trump has refused to wear a face mask in public, contrary to the CDC's advice that people should wear a cloth face covering to show coronavirus transmission. At the start of this month, Trump again clashed with the CDC by calling its guidance on how schools can safely reopen too stringent. I will be meeting with them, he warned in a tweet. 2 weeks later, the CDC published new guidance that stresses that COVID-19 possesses a relatively low risk to school-aged children. In a comment article in Washington Post, the CDC former director said that the school controversy is an example of how repeated efforts to subvert sound public health guidelines introduce chaos and uncertainty while unnecessarily putting lives at risk. Sudden changes to how data are reported could be deadly in an outbreak. That is why the HHS must immediately make contact with data managers at hospitals and public health departments and work with them to end confusion over the new system. Moreover, the HHS must make the data available to epidemiologists at public health departments and universities so that they are able to work with this information as they have done in the past. These researchers help local leaders to understand where the outbreaks is spreading and how to control it without their crucial work. The United States will continue to fight the pandemic blindly through intermediate surges followed by economically destructive lockdowns. Now, to close,
Hold on, what did that say? Go back. What you said? What? Economically destructive lockdown. What?
Yeah, economically destructive lockdowns.
Read the paragraph again. Moreover, the what? The HSS.
Researchers help local leaders to understand where the outbreak is spreading and how to control it. Without their crucial work, the United States will continue to fight the pandemic blindly through intermediate surges followed by economically destructive lockdowns.
So they're admitting that lockdowns are economically destructive, right?
Of course it is. Yeah.
Dang, why, man?
No, I'm getting your point. Just work with me for a minute. Just listen.
I'm working with you.
Work with me.
Yeah. Lockdown, yeah. All right, economic issues, yes.
So we agree with that.
For small businesses.
Right, all the shit. So we can agree with that. So what they're saying is it's better to do this data that you was talking about, right? Open it up. So, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're going to end up dealing with the destructive force of a shutdown. That's basically what you just read there, right? Mm-hmm. So here's the interesting point. Trump administration has made a decision to open up based off of destructive economic shutdown. They made that decision. At the end of the day, we couldn't stay shut down. Now, me, for my money, right? I've always been an essential worker. You've been an essential worker. It don't matter to us, bro. This bitch could have stayed closed for 2 years, less traffic, and we chilling. Love to shut down. But the reality is you had to take the risk of opening up. You feel me? So if the Democrats would have been in office, are y'all saying they would have did a better job? Are we certain about that? We don't know. And the shit came out of nowhere, yo. Hopefully they do a better job the next year because the pandemic ain't over with. Nowhere near over with. I don't think we got another year of it. But it's easy to sideline quarterback and say what they should have did, what they shouldn't have did. The shit came out of nowhere, bro. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you learn to the leader in times of distress, right? We know who you are in times of trouble. Then we figure out who the hell you is. So all that sideline shit that other parties are talking about, I would have loved to see them in this position to see how they would have reacted. So the shit ain't as simple as we making it very, very simple and blaming the blame on one individual, which is crazy to me.
No, the words of one individual is listen, the one individual is the leader of the world, and his words cause problems. His words cause problems because of how far it reaches out. And he has people thinking one way. We must take that into account. It's called influence. What type of influence does this guy's tweets have on American people?
I never disagreed on that, Sean. I never fortunate point. I'm simply saying that is why we teach scientific literacy. We never listened to none of them niggas, bro. We never listened to Trump's silly ass. We never did that. And we taught the people listening to these shows, never do that. We taught people, look, think for yourself, use these resources, bro. We've been at the forefront of that. So we was trying to get out. We had our community up front, understanding vaccines, dude, before anybody. The country wasn't even pushing it like that. We was fighting the largest anti-vax. So I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make here is that we cannot be dependent on a crazy ass dude like Trump. We can't be dependent on a crazy ass dude like Biden. We're not them dudes. We have armed our community with real information where you know the niggas is doing a tweet, just talking shit. We wasn't getting it. Matter of fact, we don't even watch the news, which slant to one side when they want to, depending on the news agency, and then slant to the other side. We don't even listen to them. If you listen to the news, you would actually think the coronavirus is a death sentence for everybody. That we're just not going to make it. We know that's not the truth. We know it's a serious problem. We know it's dangerous. We know that it's clogging the system up as the cases go up. We know things need to be taken into consideration. We know that, but we also know everybody's not going to. You have a high recovery rate with this. This ain't the N1H1. That's why I mentioned the daggone Democrats. They messed that pandemic up. They just
how you keep on naming parties, yo? You sound just like Trump, man. Red, the blue.
I gotta say, I'm trying to show you, Don, I'm trying to make the point that none of them groups is fit to lead us, bro. Why don't you get that?
Because you keep on talking about the Blue Boys. How many tweets have you read from the Democrats regarding the pandemic that was reckless and not careful than that of Trump? How many? Since you want to keep on saying the Democrats, let's bring them up. Since we charging both parties, listen, these people, no matter how we feel about them, they have not been as reckless as Trump has been over this pandemic, and they have been listening to the experts. Whereas Trump has been going to war with them over this information, like Sosa keeps trying to say. And that creates problems with the people. No matter how much work we're doing, we ain't being heard by millions of people when we tweet.
Well, everybody can't make it, bro. What you want me to say?
So you rather lose like 100 million people behind?
Yeah, I can't, bro. Intelligent people in households, more than just us, understand misinformation when they hear it, yo. Intelligent people who are scientifically literate already got the deal. So if you just a lump, depending on the government for your daggone rescue, then you're during this particular time period, then you're a little bit in trouble there, bro. But at the end of the day, let's look at really what happened. So we started this whole thing about the quote unquote shutting it down. I mean, reopening. Okay, and so they did have a plan to reopen. It wasn't Trump's plan. It was the administration's plan. So they did have that. Did the governors follow it? No. Like you said correctly, well, he was hedging them not to damn near follow the plan, hurry up and open up. So he put that pressure. You're right, bro. He put that pressure to hurry up and open up. But the strong governors ignored this motherfucking ass and adhered to the plan. Well, New York is damn near decimated. They really stuck to it, and everybody leaving New York. So, I mean, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yeah, New York is in trouble based off of following the reopening plan. They in trouble. So people, I'm saying it's not perfect like we wanted to, bro. You know, you're gonna die around here. It is what it is. Because it's based off of money and people working and business. So that's why we ain't got time for the silly people out here who don't wear masks.
So I think like, huh? They was like the trolls of shit.
I couldn't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't hear you, Jay.
No, that wasn't me that said something. It was somebody else.
I just want to know when we can talk again, because we just let you just dominate this capping for Trump.
No, I shut up because you keep doing it in. Every time
you're talking.
Don't mind it.
Hey, there's 7 of us on this panel.
I'm shutting up. But the 7.
When you gonna shut up? When you gonna shut up? Tell me.
Go ahead. You played a clip out of nowhere, rudely. Like I sort of have some man. But go ahead.
Chatty Patty's all in the damn chat, man. Y'all better get y'all asses on this panel. I know that much.
Yeah,
I put the controller down for y'all.
We have to tell the truth. Okay.
Trying to hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
So all right. So your boy, I'm not saying your boy literally, but 45 said even in this past debate that it's kind of hard to believe scientists because they changed the perspective. Why? Because he doesn't know how science works.
Thank you.
Now, because he don't know how science works, he says things that causes even more confusion. In that confusion, he creates doubt. When he creates doubt, that puts your life in jeopardy and my life in jeopardy. And this is just on one issue.
Okay.
You bring up other issues regarding certain things, and I'm not saying all cops are bad cops, but some are.
Oh.
He He does that on that issue. I'm saying things that jeopardize and affect us personally. No matter what, we're trying to teach the people that are listening and watching these streams and things of that nature. It's not getting to the people that need it most because we can't help prevent the ignorance from spreading because it's beating us 100 million times faster. So I'm saying we have to just be careful saying that, okay, he relies on this. I don't think that he relies on science at all. He relies on his emotions.
I agree with you, bro.
And everything that, but everything he says has a consequence. And who does it affect the most? Us. It affects us the most because we're more at jeopardy than everybody else is. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, we don't know how the Democrats would have handled this pandemic. We know they would have listened a little bit more to the scientists because they rely on some information that comes from those areas, but we don't know the actual response. We know that they wouldn't be talking about Operation Warp Speed for a vaccine and then backing all the way up off of that. Well, the scientists are backing all the way up off of that. And he's doubling down, talking about, I think it'll be ready by the end of the year. So, he's causing more, what I'm saying is he's causing more of an issue for us than we realize it because he is inconsistent and illiterate and scientifically illiterate, and it is causing more lives lost.
Operation Warp Speed.
Yeah, Operation Warp Speed. You familiar?
Of course, bro. But Russia already got a vaccine, yo. China.
Have you seen Russia's vaccine work?
I don't know. What I'm trying to tell you is first of all, yo.
I'm asking, have you seen Russia's vaccine work? Yes or no?
On Russia, but they took their shit, didn't they?
I'm asking you.
No, Sean, I don't know. I'm just saying they finished with their vaccine. That's all I'm saying, bro. So don't make it seem like it's a Trump thing. It's a world thing.
Hey, what was the deal on that Russian thing though? Didn't I heard that like it wasn't like they said it was on a Russian vaccine? Anybody know about it?
No, I don't know about it. He said it wasn't real.
I heard it was not as effective as they was claiming that it was.
Get a couple
vaccine in Russia. I was asking if anybody heard any more about it. Or the new one they got right now. They got the new treatment right now. And they got with the new shit they got.
Talking shit. Chatty Patty order. Hold on, Chatty Patty out of order, yo.
Oh, he ain't the only one.
If you won't play this in the thing. You won't do it. No, I ain't taking no Russian vaccine. I ain't taking no.
He go right here. He go right here.
I ain't taking no Chinese vaccine either.
We developed a heterologous COVID-19 vaccine consisting of two components, a recombinant, adenovirus type 26 vector, and a recombinant adenovirus type 5 vector, both carrying the gene for severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. We aim to assess the safety and immunogenicity of two formulations, frozen and lyophilized, of the vaccine. All right, so skip. Findings. All right. Between June 18th, August 3rd, we enrolled 76 patients, so it's small. Patients to two studies, 38 in each study. Each study, 9 volunteers received phase 1, 9 received phase 1.
Sean, freeze right there. We're going to switch channels, yo. Hey, CK, get in there.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I'm multitasking.
I see Chatty Patty. I don't see you. You ain't pop up.
Oh, I've been through the link. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the link for the Zoom? I've been through it in there.
Comment channel, yo.
Oh, Pseudo Killas?
Yeah, we're not going to get that information.
Huh? What information? About
the stage 3 results.
Oh, the Russian.
Yep. Which scientists say is some bull.
They said what?
They say it's some bull. What you doing? Changing the channel?
Yeah. Yeah. Went over here too long. See, we don't never want to go 2 hours, yo.
Man, I've been told you.
I know, yo, you got to come in stronger, though. You know say,
Hell
come on.
no.
He told you 2 hours ago, Paul.
Hell yeah.
I know, I'm just fucking with you. You did all you could.
You didn't want to listen. You hard-headed.
Who was that? Kent? I mean, Sean.